Get ready to touch that dial with your host, Spike Nesmith.
Today we're going to Ireland and the national Newstalk.Ie network. This fascinating interview about a caller's mother who died because of what her daughter says was hospital negligence will absolutely break your heart. Her emotion's still raw and it's often quite hard to listen to. But in addition to the tragic story, I want to point out to you why this interview is so good. I realise this is a weird sentence, but listen out for the silence, the pauses. Host Kieran Cudahy lets his interviewee tell her story, even if it means a moment or two of silence to let her think and collect herself. It's raw, it's real, and it's outstanding broadcast journalism. From Dublin, Ireland, this is The Hard Shoulder on Newstalk.Ie.
The St. Vincent's University Hospital has apologised to the family of Frida Fox. Frida was from Castlereagh in County Roscommon and was 76 years old when she died in September 2017. She went in to St. Vincent's Hospital for an operation, a complex procedure that was carried out by 2 trainee surgeons. Something went wrong and she lost 17 litres of blood. Vanessa, Frida's daughter, joins me now. And Vanessa, thank you for taking the time to speak to us today when you've gotten this apology from the hospital. Can you tell us at this point what you know happened?
Well, what we now know is that the surgery was done by 2 trainee surgeons. Their consultant, Mr. Tony Stafford, was supposed to be present to supervise the surgery. He wasn't there and he wasn't to be found. And the 2 trainee surgeons made a mistake and they cut in the wrong place. And by the time Anthony Stafford arrived, they tried to repair the tear, the cut. And they couldn't, and my mother basically bled to death.
Yeah, I mean, 17 litres of blood. It's even seeing it written down, thinking about just that sheer volume. I mean, I think to anybody at home, it's kind of a startling amount. I can only imagine what it must be like reading and hearing something like that when it's about your mother.
When you realise that typically in a Whipple procedure, the loss is 750 millilitres to a litre. And we lost 17 litres.
Who was in the hospital at the time, Vanessa, with your mother?
Well, we were all working, and my brother works in Dublin, and he was heading over that evening after Mammy came out of surgery, and we were going to head up. So we were just waiting on the call that the surgery was completed. And we got the call then to make our way up that things hadn't gone as planned. And Mammy wasn't going to make it.
Who made that call to you, Vanessa? And can you remember what they told you?
It wasn't made to myself. It was made to my older sister, Sandra. Mr. Stafford rang her and told her to contact all of us and get up to Dublin.
When was it then, Vanessa, that you realised that something serious had got something? Sorry, that sounds like such a silly question, but obviously something serious had gone wrong. But that mistakes had been made.
We met with Mr. Stafford 2 weeks after Mammy died, and it was in that discussion that we realised something was wrong. We weren't getting any straight answers from the surgeon. We felt that any questions we were asked, we were going round in circles. So we were being told about blood loss, and we were told about the fact that she arrested 3 times while she was in surgery. And it was when we left that meeting, our gut instinct told us that something wasn't right. So we refused to sign off on the death cert. The hospital started an investigation and we looked for a coroner's inquest into Mammy's death. So it was 6 months later, we got the report. 9 months later, my apologies, we got the report from St. Vincent's Hospital, and the graphic detail in that report told us everything that happened.
Yeah, the report referred to inadequate levels of appropriate supervision of trainees undertaking a complex surgical procedure. So, in black and white, the trainees who were doing this should have been supervised. They were not.
Yes. And that was already part of St. Vincent's policies and procedures. And I think for us as a family, that's the most frightening thing, really, that 2 years after Mammy's death, there were no changes to the policies and procedures. And we believe to this day nothing has changed. The fact that it was a recommendation by St. Vincent's Hospital in this report that trainee surgeons be supervised on all procedures, but as we argued, that was already one of their policies, and St. Vincent's Hospital didn't ensure that their policies and procedures were being followed. And there's no sanction for somebody who doesn't follow their policies and procedures. No accountability. And that's a very hard thing for us as a family to stomach.
Tell me a little bit, Vanessa, about your mum.
Mommy was the life and soul of the party. She loved dancing, music, singing. Family was huge to Mummy. People used to comment when you'd walk into our house about the amount of photographs of the family that were all over the place, because she was very proud of her family. She reared us from the age of 42, where my dad died. So she was a huge part of our life. Since she's gone, the hole she has left in all of our lives is it's just terrible. She held us together as a family. She was the glue. The grandchildren loved her to death. She was just a funny, kind, caring person.
The hospital, they settled the case. They apologised without making any admission of liability. Are you and your family confident, Vanessa, this won't happen again?
No, we're not confident at all. We have lost all faith in the medical system, to be quite honest with you. The fact that nothing has changed even today. We don't believe, even the fact that the hospital put it in their report as one of their recommendations, that things will change. And I personally believe that until there are sanctions and accountability for employees in the HSE or any hospital in Ireland, that if they don't do their job and don't follow the hospital policies and procedures, 100% they need to be sanctioned.
Vanessa, listen, for what it's worth, I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure everybody listening feels the same way. We're really sorry for your loss, and thanks for taking the time to speak to us.
You're very welcome. Thanks for talking to us. And can I just thank David O'Malley from Callan-Tansey Solicitors for being so supportive to us throughout all of this. And Darren O'Malley as well. They were just excellent, and I'd like to thank them publicly for their support.
Absolutely. Listen, thank you again, Vanessa.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Stay with us here in the Hard Shoulder. We'll be back in a moment.
In radio, you're always told that the loudest sound in the world is dead air. But, like I said, the gaps in that interview, and I didn't edit any of them, the clip you heard was in real time, the gaps managed to ramp up the impact of this incredibly difficult interview. A lesser host would have been interrupting the guest in order to move things along, but this guy gets it. He knows that backing off is the best thing to do. Add to that his guest story, and that's why this bit of radio is quite remarkable. Hey, it's cold in Canada. How cold? We'll find out next Friday when we touch that dial. I'm Spike Nesmith.